Hi, welcome to another podcast. And if you're here back, I'm very grateful to you. Before I start my chatty talk, I want to remind you to please subscribe, react on my videos. I'm very curious about where you are standing and from which perspective you are hearing the words that I'm saying. If you like my videos and if you resonate with it, please like, and I can only hope that this is another episode that will touch you in a way that you didn't expect. So, I want to talk about gratitude today. I've uploaded 2 videos already, and the amount of views I had really blew my mind a little bit. So, to everyone, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so very much. Another form in my healing journey to really heal myself from the roots was to learn how to be grateful again. In my victim mindset, in my trauma mindset, I blamed everyone. I blamed the one who assaulted me for taking my innocence. I blamed the world for putting so much problems onto those little shoulders. I was in a state of hate and pain and burnout. And in my healings journey, I am very much blessed to be saying that I can smile again. I can really be thankful again, like really grateful for everyone and everything. And that made a whole lot of change in my healings process. When I was younger, I felt like everything that could go wrong went wrong. Like I said earlier in one of my videos, I got bullied. I've been S8. I've been abandoned. My own father didn't want me. My stepfather walked out on us. There were a whole lot of things that I had to deal with at such a young age, and in that state, I couldn't see very much good in my life. When I got older, I came to see that when I learned how to be grateful for the things that I still had. For example, my grandparents are still alive, and those are really angels to me. So the fact that they are alive are very much a blessing to me, so that they can see, still experience that I'm not that I'm not whole that of a failure. um, I had the blessings to, even though everything went wrong, I still had like the way, I still had that fire in me. I've always this little fire in me. I've been in a domestic abusive relationship, and that was a really hard time for me. And after that, I got into a relationship with someone who was very addictive. So yeah, 1 plus 1 is 2. And in those days, the only thing I spent, I think, a year and a half in that relationship, and I was very young also. And in that relationship, there weren't a lot of good things. I felt dark. I felt drained. I felt like I couldn't get out of the situation. I felt scared for my life literally every day. And still, in those moments, I felt this little fire, right? Like, maybe it's a crazy thing to be saying, but it felt like this. At first, he put my fire out, but then the worse the treatment got and the worse he behaved towards me, the more I got like, sassy in my head, which for me was a form of self defense, right? I didn't say it out loud because I knew better, but in my head, I was like, yeah, da, 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 And I think light up the spark again in myself. That's something that I was always very grateful for. I'm very grateful for the way that I never gave up the fight, even though I had to face like 100 people every day. I'm very grateful that I didn't let hate and pain took over my heart, because I knew when that happened, I was gone. When I chose to be grateful for the things that I got, I chose to be grateful for getting out of that situation alive. I spent many nights wondering if I would survive or not. I can see differently towards that situation now, because now I know that it wasn't my fault to end up in a situation like that. Because how should I have known love without a man fighting for my heart in the first place? Like my bio dad, he gave up his rights, and my stepfather walked out after telling me that I would always be his daughter, lying, deceiving, abandoning, neglecting. That isn't a base for a healthy relationship. That isn't the standards that you need as a young person in order to know what healthy love, healthy attachment, and healthy behaviors mean and look like.